this is the greatest country on the face of the earth. But our foundations have been under attack the last year. I mean, we were told that candidate Obama had the most liberal voting record in the United States Senate. That was the National Journal. And that's more liberal than the avowed socialist who's in the U.S. Senate. So that tells you something. And now the American people are beginning to see what that means. And they're reacting. And look at the last year. Look at what has happened. Government takeovers of private businesses, of entire areas of our economy, attempted unconstitutional power grabs like the health care bill, and direct attacks on our most precious freedoms as well as traditional values. Look at the first few days in office, okay? Here we are a year later. What's one of the first things that happened? The president rescinded the Mexico City policy, which for the first time in over a decade, we exported abortion overseas with taxpayer funds. And today is the 37th anniversary of Roe v. Wade. So, I mean, this is a significant day. That is a significant decision. Even people who aren't pro-life disagree with the idea of forcing other Americans to use their tax money to support something they feel is immoral and wrong. That's a very extreme position. That was one of the first things. But he's also advocating for the Freedom of Choice Act, which would overturn the laws of every state in the country, including Texas, our parental notification, our parental consent laws, basic things that vast amounts of people in the country agree with. We've got his promise to repeal the Federal Defense of Marriage Act. Not only his promise to do so, but his instructions to the Justice Department that are now trying to lose these cases. If you look at the briefs they're filing, they're saying, well, we have to take this position because we have to defend the law, but the administration thinks it's wrong and it should be overturned. So we can see some very extreme things. We see gays in the military now being pushed. We see the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, which is on its way through and expected to pass, and if it does, it will force transgenderism on every private business in this country if you have 15 or more employees, and there is no exemption for religious conscience. That is not allowed. And then, of course, you have the repeal of President Bush's HHS regulations on conscience, which simply protected healthcare workers and religious hospitals not to be forced to violate their conscience. This is not why the American people elected him president. This is a break of trust to the American people. We didn't ask for government takeovers, attacks on sanctity of life, attacks on basic freedoms. Massachusetts was a wake-up call, but it's just the beginning.